Well, guys, it's another evening. It's Monday, so it must be Airfix and chill night. And it's cold in the UK at the moment. I'm really struggling with this weather. I need to get to Spain or somewhere to get at least get myself a tan. You know what I mean? It's so cold. But anyway, welcome everyone. We've got quite a few in the chat already. But tonight we've got a special guest with us. We've got Terry from Hobby Barn, and it's great to see you, my friend. How are you feeling?
I'm doing okay today.
Yeah,
As long as the humidity stays down low, I'm okay.
yeah.
Humidity gets up high, it really takes a toll on my breathing.
Mm,
And you said it's cold over there. It's 48 degrees here in Kentucky in the United States. So
that's Imperial. We're metric over here. I think it was 2 degrees over here, and last night it was -3. So we work on centigrade, not Fahrenheit.
well, I don't know
So
what it is here centigrade, but it's still cold to me anyway,
yeah, I bet it is. Bet it is.
which I can't get out in it anyway, because I can't get out, I do good to walk from one room to the next. And I've only been out of this house 11 times since 2020.
Wow.
And,
Yeah, you've had some very difficult times at the moment, and some disappointment news as well. Disappointing news.
oh yeah, and that's the biggest letdown of all. Is the fact that's why I was putting everything off. Just buying all this equipment and everything. To do my modeling or get back into it, and then to find out that it's not going to happen.
Mm,
Now I'm going to have to use this equipment, the best I can, with
yeah.
my health like it is, or just all in thousands of dollars that I've spent is wasted.
Mm. But can I just say, what an amazing artwork you got behind you there? What that's such a wonderful stash of real great American classics. I'm just looking there now and just thinking, the Ford Coupe there. You've got the Chargers. You've got an amazing amount of trucks. You look at that Kenworth in behind your head there. And
Yeah,
the pickup trucks as well. It
and
just
I've got shit. I've got three of the Peterbilt records
yeah.
sitting up there, and
Well, I don't think it's
the
you've
boxes
got
tore all to hell, but they've never been put together. Or still, they're still in the plastic. But I
oh,
bought all three of them at a yard sale. I don't know if y'all have yard sales over there or you know what I'm talking about, but I bought all three of them for $5 a piece. Right now they're over $100 is what they're selling for.
yeah. Well, you've got a bit of time. I'd like to see at least 20% of that built. All right, my friend. There's a
Well,
challenge for you.
I'm going to try my best. I mean, like if you watched any of my other videos, I've just bought a Harder and Stingback Infinity CR Plus
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
um, which I when I had my original body shop from '76 until 1990, I made a living with a hairbrush. Uh,
yeah,
I painted murals, sceneries and stuff on the sides of vans back in the '70s. I done T-shirts, license plates. I mean, I've done a lot with the airbrush.
yeah.
I figured, now all these years, it's time to buy the best
Oh,
airbrush.
definitely.
I mean, I've got the airbrush that I had back in '76. I still got it, and it still works just as good as it did, back then. Because I took care of it, and the fact, I've been, I can buy parts for it.
Yeah,
But I think I've got about six airbrushes altogether, but that's the latest one I bought, the Hard Steenback, and I want to try it out. I've not got
yeah,
to use it yet. Same as you was talking about your topic. I know this is talking about air compressors on
yeah.
tonight. I've got a brand new one sitting here on the floor. It's never been turned on, just waiting to get to use it.
Brilliant.
I can't say how good it is because, like I said, I've not even got to try it out. But I got it at Harbor Freight. It's a Fortress ultra quiet. Now I have turned it on, and to see if it does what it said it did. My oxygen machine actually makes more noise than it does. I mean, that's
Yeah,
how quiet the air compressor is. It's got a 2-gallon tank on it, so it holds air pretty good. So I don't have to worry about running out of air with that
No.
painting the model anyway. And
I was just going to say I'm a tank man. When I buy my compressor, mine. I was going to talk about compressors tonight with everyone else because I've had to buy a new one because I broke mine, and the first thing I went looking for was the size of the tank. But in recent times, I bought the cheapy ones, and I'm very surprised how much air you can store just in the in the um in the pipe, from the airbrush to the actual compressor bit. You can get a good amount stuck in there, so that if but the only trouble is that the compressor is on fully, if you know what I mean. As soon as you start blowing that air, you lose pressure. But yeah, it's always good to have a good compressor with a decent sized tank on it. And then, a lot of my friends, they say they fill up the tank, then they turn it off, and that's the end of it. Like, for the evening, they've got enough in the tank then to get a car done or a model done.
well, that's like back when I had my real body shop. I had a big air compressor. It had a 10 horsepower motor and a 10 horsepower compressor, and it a 300-gallon tank. I could spray 25 models and the air compressor never kick on.
Yeah.
I could almost paint a whole real car, and it only kick on once. With 300-gallon tank, it's sure.
Yeah.
But I would paint the models that I had, put together back then. I painted them actually in my paint booths, in my body shop, and I used the car paint that I painted the cars with to paint the models, and used the polyurethane, clear coat and everything like that. And they turned out pretty good back then, considering that I wasn't, as good as I am now. But hopefully,
Brilliant.
I've learned a whole lot, in the 60 years that I've been doing it.
Yeah, you've got a lot of experience. I'd love to see you make more videos, my friend. You've got a lot of experience and a lot of life experience and modeling experience. So hopefully in the next few months we'll be seeing a lot more content from you on your channel in regards to modeling. So it'll be really good.
You can count on that because like I said, now that I know that I can't get this lung transplant, and I've only got like a year, the doctor said, without it, I've got to do something.
Yeah.
I've got to get with it. That's why I was on another interview with another guy about a year ago, and I told him that was my biggest regret is that I believe I waited too late to get back into the modeling, scene, because I waited till my health got too bad to start back. But like then I was, counting on getting that lung transplant. I know that I had at least 5 to 10 years more, I could, have to work on them.
Yeah.
But now, that's all gone down the drain, and now I've only got a year, 2 at the most, the doctor said. So, I've got to do something, even if it's wrong. More.
Yeah. Well, let's see you get some videos.
Chat room. I really appreciate everybody out there, subbing to me. And we'll give Mike a shout out there. I seen him on there a while ago, and Dominic and Jeff. A lot of them I see on here, I see in other hangouts and stuff that I'm on, especially Jeff and John. They're in other hangouts.
Yeah. It's a good community, we
modeling community is the best they are out on YouTube as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's it. Right, just quickly then we'll go around the room. We've got a few in tonight in the chat, and then we'll come back to you, Terry, in a bit. But also what we've got here, we've got John. Hi John, how are you, my friend?
Hi, I'm doing well, Moss. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi everybody.
And what you're doing on the bench tonight?
Tonight I'm just going to do a little bit of part cleanup for the 124th Airfix Spitfire. So but that would be a nice thing to just sit here and do off camera while we chit chat, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and what I've seen so far of your Spitfire, it's looking absolutely amazing, my friend. It's really going well together. It'll be a joy to see that when it's finished, mate. To actually see how you've finished it off, and what scheme you've picked. And don't tell us yet what scheme you've picked, but I'll be looking forward to seeing that finish, my friend.
Thank you, I appreciate that. It's a magnificent kit. It's
and also, go on, sorry. Yeah, and also, if you want to see the build, he has been updating his YouTube channel with updates on that build. So if you do fancy building the 1/24 scale Spitfire, then jump over to John's channel and have a good look at it. So, yeah. Moving over now, we'll go to Sully, who's doing some amazing weathering at the moment, mate.
Well, I didn't know that right. I'm waiting for some to dry in time. I'll give everyone a quick. I'll give you guys a quick look.
There you go. Hey.
So, it's a big couple.
Oh my god, that looks so cool.
Yeah,
it's quite impressive actually. So basically, this is like 1-to-1 scale weathering. So what I'll be doing is add 2 coats, which it needs, and eventually it should look something like that once it's done. So I've got to put a solution on there in an hour or so, hopefully, and hopefully it should start coming out to look like that. And it'll be most of that look. That's the plan anyway.
I was just wondering, could you use that technique in scale modeling? Surely there's models with copper pipes that you could put a green, touch to it to make it look like it's, corroded copper. I'm just trying to think of where you would do that,
There's probably a good chance, but I would not suggest anybody paying for this stuff for that.
No, I get that.
It is expensive stuff. It says you've got a solution for it, and this is a 750 tin.
Yeah.
Millimeter tin, and it's about 38 quid for being kit.
That's right.
So, but
yeah, fair play, mate. It'll look good when it's done.
It's pretty cool stuff. So, translated to this now. So,
get a video done on it, mate. Workshop build.
There'll be a video. There's a whole video for the full workshop.
Yeah.
So once this is done or mostly done, there'll be a whole video for it.
Well, fair enough. Brilliant. Brilliant. Fantastic. Right, Rorex. Where's Rorex to? Let's find him on the screen. Rorex, where are you? There you are. Hello, mate.
Hello.
So, got a Mustang on the bench tonight, have you?
Yeah, several. I got one for the group build of Tam, of the Bits and Bits one. It's going to be in the colors of the Top Gun Maverick.
Brilliant. That's an Airfix one, is it?
No, Matchbox.
Matchbox.
Yeah, it's a very crude kit. The Airfix one was the Mustang 3 that I just finished. I just need to work on the base of that one, so it's still on the bench due to that. Yeah. I'm working finally again on my Defiant. I just inserted 2 lights in it, and they're going to be on the diorama that I'm making, and I'm also going to make some lights in the cockpit, but still working on that.
Yeah.
And the dreaded Blenheim with the I need to get this smooth, so it will be quite fun tonight. But it's my stream build, so I'm only working on it when I'm on either this channel on Airfix and Chill or with Tam on Kits and Bits.
Oh yeah, Kits and Bits on a Friday night. Yeah, he's worth a watch as well.
So I'm only working on that during the streams.
Oh, fair play. Yeah, I can see why. Look at that raised panel line,
behind the panel lines. Oh yeah, and I'm working on this Western Lynx.
Oh yeah, you got the Lynx, haven't you? You're into that at the moment, aren't you?
Well, it's I don't know. It's just a big blob of plastic. I think it's not that nice, the kit, but I'm going to make the best of it.
Yeah, fair enough. Moving on then, let's go over to Ms. Modeler. Hi, Lexi. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm really well. What's on your workbench at the moment?
Right now, nothing, because I
Nothing.
wasn't sure I was even going to be here today.
Right.
And then I suddenly became available, so hello.
You become available. It's like we've got to book you in now, have we? Have you got like a diary and we got to book Miss Modeler into the chat on a Monday, have we?
Well, you know, I'm just such a big celebrity these days, you know.
You are.
Nah, I had someone here and they left a bit earlier than I thought they would, so it meant I was free and I could pop on.
Oh, that's great.
To bugger off, so you can go on the most important stream of your life.
I mean, to be
Right.
fair, when they were here, I was like watching my own premiere for like 40 minutes. So,
Well, you got to get your views up and your watch time up, haven't you? You know, so it's always good to watch back. I like the other day I watched back one of the original Airfix and chills that we had, one of the first ones, and it was so funny. It was like, wow, like because we were on screen chatting away. I missed quite a lot of that, so I was able to catch up on my own video. So I even liked it, and I even put a comment. So hopefully that will work with the algorithm as well.
I've got a couple
Right.
of things I was going to build, but
Yeah.
I'm just going to chill now. I've still got my Hurricane to do. I've got a Defiant to do, so that'll be next week, I think.
Brilliant, fantastic. All right, so we've got so many in the chat tonight. We've got some in the chat. We've got Celtic West. Nice to see my friend David JM. Wayne Welly's in the chat. Dominique Cuckoo's in the chat. Erwin's in the chat. But first, I want to go back up because we've got a new channel member, which is Morrowind. Thank you for joining the Mod 6510 family. It's great to have you on board. And if you could email me your address, I will be sending you out some stickers. If you're in this country, if you're not in this country, you're gonna have to wait because Royal Mail still aren't accepting packages going abroad, and it's nothing to do with Royal Mail per se. It's a hack. They were hacked basically, and it's something to do with what I've been told is the CN22 forms, which is the form you use for importing and exporting goods. And apparently they can't register them at the moment. So at the moment I can't send any out. But anyways, as I said, tonight we've got Hobby Barn in tonight, which is Terry, and he put out a video a couple of weeks ago in his predicament. And I just felt that there's a chap here who's got lots of experience. It'd be great to get him on here on Airfix and Chill. So if you've got any questions for Hobby Barn, please put them in the chat. But more importantly, could you try and just promote his channel so he gets 1,000 subscribers? Because I think that will be a really good milestone for him. So if you can go out there, go to his channel. I think somebody's already put the link up in the chat, but somebody could do it again for me. Put the link up to Hobby Barn. If you can, go over there and subscribe and show him a bit of love and support him and try and get his channel up to 1,000 subscribers. That would be absolutely brilliant. So we're going to go back to Hobby Barn in a bit. So yeah, Miss Modder's now put the link up. So let's try and support him and get him to 1,000 subscribers. And it's actually quite nice. There's quite a few people that you know already in the chat as well, Terry, isn't there? That you watch on other channels.
Yeah, there's a few of them on here that I know, beforehand.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot on here that I recognize now that I've been coming on here too. Wayne for one, and a couple of the other ones. But John is one that comes on a lot of the other channels. Matter of fact, I even got one of his shop parts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Jeff, I've seen him, on the Max, or Sue, Ice Queen, whenever I was on her show, and Plastic Monkey, Paul, and
yeah, Paul's a good lad. Yeah.
Yeah, he comes on a lot of the hangouts that we do, over here, on the weekends, and but we're on a little bit late, for you all to, because you all are 5 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
So
don't get me wrong. I'm a late lad anyway. I stay up late, and if I see a modeler that's on, I often have him in the background while I'm doing stuff. It's we just try to. As I said, the community is very self-supporting. If you know what I mean. You know, I see a lot of people jump on all these other premieres and videos, and it's a lovely community. Really, we try to critique in the nicest possible way. You know, and that's what I like. You know, it's we do have, there are things that we don't like in the community, but there's a nice push in the right direction. And I think if that can stay as long as possible and not turn into Twitter, then we'll be all right. If you know what I mean.
I was wanting to say, though, that I know Dominic's already subscribed to me, and I've done sub back to him. But I was going to say, anybody that does sub to me, I will sub you back, because it's only fair, to keep the model community growing is everybody shares with everybody else.
Yeah.
It's only fair if you're going to, take the time to watch my videos, then it's only right for me to watch yours. We've got to look out for each other, and that's exactly why that I'm here now. Is because where you seen my video and you shared it, on your page and give me a shout out. That's what got a lot of people, that didn't know that I existed.
Yeah.
To coming on and liking my videos and subbing to me, and now it's led up to being on here today, and I really appreciate it. And but at the same time, I don't want people to feel sorry for me.
No.
I know I have it rough, and people, like even the ones that I do the hangouts regularly on the weekends. I told them, unless you've been through it, you don't know what it's like to be, not be able to go outside your front door, in 2 years' time. I kid and joke with myself, it's a good thing I don't have cabin fever, because, I'd probably be bouncing off the wall if it did. But the only time that I ever get out of the house is if I go in an ambulance to the hospital. And people don't realize how depressing that you can get, by just sitting in a chair looking out the window or watching YouTube on the TV, day in and day out, and that's all you're able to do.
Yeah.
But and that's what made it so hard. After they told me, I don't, qualify no more to, get the lung transplant, that I'm not, going to be able to have a future that I was counting on more.
No.
And thank you, Mr. Smith. Appreciate that. It does. But like I said, I've learned in the last couple of years, or if my health has got worse, to live with it and to deal with it. I was just hoping to get to deal with it a little bit better, but like I said, now that I know that that's not going to happen, I'm going to make the most of what time I have got left. Now, it's like I said in the video, I may only be able to come in here and work 5 or 10 minutes at a time, but I'll eventually get that model put together 5 or 10 minutes at a time. It's just like the old Johnny Cash song. He stole the parts for the Cadillac car one piece at a time. The car looked like shit when he got done, but he eventually got in the car.
That's right. Yeah,
but,
it did.
And that's the way I look at it. I'll eventually get one put together, and the paint will probably have plenty of time to dry in between time, getting to work on it. But, I will get one put together, and when I get that one done, I'll start on another one. But
so what model are you building at the moment, Terry? Have you got anything in particular?
The one that I'm going to start with is the one that I was, one of my holy grails that I, posted a video of, and that's the Boot Hill Express.
Yes.
George Barris. I put that model car together when it first came out in 1967. I was 11 years old. I'm 66 now, so 5 years later, I'm going to build that same model over again. And hopefully it'll look a hell of a lot better than what it did 55 years ago. But it is the original kit from 1967 that I've got. One of the friends of mine on here on the, in the hangouts that we do, he sent it to me.
Brilliant.
Because he knew that was the kit that I was looking for. Hobby Lobby, a lot of places, sells them, the new release ones, or actually round 2, I think sells it. But it's not the same kit. It's molded in a different color and everything. I wanted the original that I had back then.
Yeah.
And because I remember exactly where I was and everything when I put that card together. And that's what, brings back a lot of memories for me, is when I got the kit and while I'm going to be working on it, I will, I remember where I was at when I put it together the first time. And, being that 11 years old, it just makes building it over again that much more fun.
Wow. Doc Brown has just said, have you done the Don Charles's Twins Hammer? My first rail drag kart I'm about to start.
No, and I wanted to get that kit, but I just never did. I've only got a couple dragsters to start with. I've got the I believe it's Eddie Hill, the Pennzoil, Eddie Hill Pennzoil dragster, and then I've got you can see it right here right here, and I've got the Jim Allen dragster.
Wow.
The Praying Mantis. That's the original kit. That was I think was 1965 when it come out. It's the original kit, and I've got several original model cars. I've got one over here. It's McLaren. That's a 1965 model kit, and the price of it was 78 cents. That's what it cost. I've had that kit since 65. That's
fantastic.
That's the only kit out of my childhood that I managed to be able to keep up with. I bought a lot of kits, that I put together when I was a kid to replace, but that's the only one that I've actually had.
Yeah. Fair play. Lord Bodford one has just said, brave bloke, positive attitude, and yes, definitely, my friend, you're a very brave man. And as I said, we will be looking forward to seeing you building as much as you can. And you've alluded to that you've got not long to go, but in that time, we hope that you will get some good quality models up, and we're able to watch you build, and especially with that Infinity. I do love the Infinity airbrush. I've gone through the grades. Don't get me wrong. I've the discussion tonight is I've just bought myself a brand new compressor because mine packed up on me, unfortunately. So and it's a Fenger one, 3-liter tank, very, very good. But I'll just ask the others in the chat, what sort of compressor have you got, and why have you got one? So, John, have you got a compressor? I guess you have, my friend.
I do. It's I'm looking at it right now. I got it from spraygunner.com.
Okay.
And they brand it as the no-name compressor. I bought it on Amazon.
Yeah.
It had fantastic reviews, and it is very quiet. That's one of the main selling points, I think, the marketing points from them is how quiet it is. It is very quiet. It keeps very consistent pressure. It has a water valve. I am 100% satisfied with this thing. It's fantastic. It was I'm trying to remember how much I paid for it now. It was somewhere between 100 and 200.
Yeah.
I think it was like maybe 150, something like that. I could not be happier with this thing. No name brand by spraygunner.com. The quiet. Oh, here's the it's 1/6 horsepower.
Yeah. I think
and
they all are 1.6 horsepower, mate. To be fair, I
and
don't
it's
think they're
3
much
liter.
more than that.
Yep, 3 liter. Couldn't be
Yeah.
happier with it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Well, this one here, this is the one that broke on me. This is the compressor. The number on it is BA1100. So I presume this is what Badger was selling at the time, 3 year ago. I don't know what happened. I came in one day and I was trying to blow and I wasn't getting any pressure. So I was trying to feel if there was a leak or something in the pipe or anything, but it was at the back here. This had somehow twisted over, not just a little bit, and there was air coming out of this thread. And I thought, here we go. And as I thought, well, maybe if I just knock it back a little bit, it will seal up. But no, it just snapped straight off. So they actually went on the thread. So I don't know if other people, I just don't understand why this here ended up moving just slightly enough to snap at the thread. And that's where the air leak was. No way of repairing it. But, I paid like 100 quid for this one back in the day. And I'm sure that the Badger one, which is exactly the same, was around 200. So it was one of them. You're thinking, well, what do you do? Do you buy it for a branded name or do you buy it as what it was? So, yeah, it was a bit of a shame. But then again, I've got the Fender one, which I'm absolutely overjoyed with. I just want to be careful. Let me just unplug the airbrush. Right. This one here, this is the one now I've got, and it is an absolute dream. It's quiet. As soon as you switch it on, it's just not going to go on because there's air in it. But, even the light comes on, so it's on. It's a brilliant bit of kit for what it was. And I ordered it at 10 o'clock at night, and it came 2 o'clock the next day. So, but then when I did the video on it, when I did the unboxing, I was very surprised how many other people have that model, but not by Fender. So I'm assuming that there might be somebody, they buy them in and then they rebadge them. Is yours the same, Sully? Have you got a different one?
No, to be fair, actually, I think mine's the same as the first one you had. It's got, I can't see it from where I am. I think it's got Ava or Avis on it, but I think it's generic. That cost me 100 quid with 2 airbrushes. And to be fair, it's 100 quid. Suited me down, to be fair.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
My first one did blow up, but the first one didn't have a tank on it.
No.
I was spray painting a 124 scale Mosquito in the middle of the summer in a shed, and it overheated.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I thought, well, I'll get one with a tank to hopefully stop that. And to be fair, it's been golden. And even the cheap airbrushes that come with it, I still use those.
Well, I've got that Fender one, which I paid 20 odd quid for, and it's got 3 different needles in it. And it seems to be, what I've had a little look at it, the quality isn't that bad. I can't deny it. And I was talking to Celtic West about this, I think, at Model Club last week. What's in an airbrush? There's not a lot in it, but when you buy Harder and Steenbeck, firstly, you know what size the bloody needle is because it tells you on the needle, innit, the little dots, what size it is. It's precision equipment. And 3, if you do break it, parts are just so unbelievably available wherever you go. So you kind of stick to that sort of brand, don't you?
Obviously, you pay a lot for that. eBay. This is what I use quite a lot. I mean, I've got a Fender one which cost me about 50 quid for all the detail stuff. Absolutely brilliant. But I did bend one of the needles, bought a cheap needle, and it still works just as good as it did when I bought it new. And for everything else, I use a 20 quid 0.3 needle for my basing and varnishing, and they're brilliant. I mean,
brilliant.
Personally, I'm like, I can't. I was like, well, I'll still get the same good products, good finishes as people that are a lot more better than me, but have got like really fancy, expensive stuff.
Yeah.
So personally, I don't think it matters. Going off the tangent with the airbrush, I don't think it matters what the airbrush is. Technically, all the same.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
Could you just check your mic, mate? Because you're coming in bits and bobs sometimes. I kind of lose your track sometimes.
Okay,
just make sure you pick the right mic.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to go to Rorex, but he is the king of the hairy stick, so we move on to Ms. Modler.
Oh, thank you.
You've just bought a compressor, haven't you, Lexi? Which one did you get?
I ended up going for the Badger Badger badged compressor.
The Badger badge compressor.
Yeah.
Is it like the one that I've got? Is it the one that I broke? Or is it different?
Looking at it, there are some minor differences, but I mean they're all pretty much the same. The only reason I went for that one is purely because I could get it from a local model store, so if anything did happen, I could take it back, because I just didn't feel comfortable, because for me it was a lot of money, and I just felt I'd rather spend a little bit more, get it from a local store, and then if it goes wrong, I can just go and cry to someone and be like, help me.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that. Yeah, definitely. As I said, I can't fault this Fender one. I've used it now on a couple of jobs, and it's just holding pressure really well. I have upped it a bit because I'm normally a 15 psi kind of guy, but I rhyme. But I've put up to about 18 now, and it just feels a little bit better through the airbrush. But also, I was just thinking that I've got a shorter pipe on this one, not braided, obviously, but my other one, which has got the quarter-inch BSP, not the 1/8 BSP on it. So it's a lot shorter, this one, to make it fit. So when I get a longer one, I'll see if that makes any difference in what's going on in the pipe. So, yeah. Just looking through the chat. Poor Price, I agree, Hurricane. My first one tank rusted out. Oh, I wonder what that was. I have the same one you've got after I got fed up with my old one with no tank. I think a lot of people will go for the tank. And they are Chinese. Yeah, I believe most compressors are made in China and then rebadged, which is a fair comment. Just also who's joined us in the chat tonight, we've got Hardy Scale Models. Hello, my friend.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm really well. What airbrush have you got? Sorry, what airbrush? What compressor are you running at the moment?
I think it's pretty much the same as yours.
Is it?
I got mine from Bot Shop, but they look standard. It looks exactly the same as what you just bought.
Yeah.
And I've had that about a year.
Yeah. What did you pay for yours from Bart Shop?
I think it was about 90 quid.
Yeah.
About 80, 90 quid. And I just use their airbrush as well. Don't use an expensive airbrush.
Is that the 18K one? Is it the 183K airbrush?
It's the 130, I think I use.
Yeah.
It's like a really, really bog standard one.
Yeah.
But I just use two. I've got one for clear coats and one for everything else, really. So
yeah. I have a tankless cheap. I got a tankless cheap compressor mainly because it's the first, and I want to learn to use it before I spend money on a better one. Yeah, you can, in theory, you can just buy a tank, can't you? But I think the aggravation of putting it on is a bit of a nightmare. I know Flory Models
doing that.
No, so I know Flory Models. He's got a twin, isn't he? He's got this main compressor with a tank. He's got like an overspill tank, hasn't he, as well? But that's like hardcore, isn't it? So I get that. Celtic West says, I think if you buy high-end airbrush, you get more control, but familiarity with the tool counts for a lot. Yeah, I do get that very much so. Be aware the 186 compressor ring wears out and stops building up pressure. Both mine and my mates went the same way. The ring is made up of a type of fiber. It lasted about 2 years. Oh, that's good information. But you can buy a new ring for it, can't you, I guess? And then try and repair it.
All the parts are repairable, yeah.
Yeah.
Replaceable. Fair
enough. It's a mint airbrush at Danish. It doesn't like anything over 15 psi, though. Think it's age. Okay, fair enough. Createx, Fenger, Werther, even Sparmax and Iwata entry-level models all use basically the same hardware built to a certain price point. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah, I get all that. That's all good. Is that a North accent I hear? It is, Hardy, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
Well, they say you're a Mackham, are you?
No, God, no. I'm from Newcastle. Apologies to any Magnum watching.
There's a YouTuber on YouTube, obviously. He does channel reviews and channel shout outs. He's called Runny Egg, and he's from Sunderland. He is.
Yeah.
And he's a Mackham, I think that's what he is. He's
that's
good. He's a laugh. I go on his channel quite a bit because when I was first building up my YouTube channel, I used to go on there and hear all the tips and tricks on what to do with a YouTube channel. He's a pretty good lad. He's a quality bloke, and I think I've been a member for him now for like nearly over 2 years. But I just like the way he talks. He's got good humor. They've all got good humor in the North, haven't they?
Apparently.
The further north, I've realised that the further north you go, the less people use the word "the." Do you know what I mean? Toot lad, toot witch, toot wardrobe. You know what I mean? There's no the lion, is it? You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
you don't use the word "the."
We do, yeah, most of the time. But that's more Yorkshire, that I think.
Yeah, definitely more Lancashire way, is it? Yeah.
Mackham and Geordie's similar. There's once you've heard them both together, you can hear the difference. So.
Oh, can you? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I get so. Yeah. Fair enough.
A bit distinctive though.
Yeah. So what's your compressor then, Terry? You were saying you bought a new one. What's your compressor then?
It's a Fortress brand.
Fortress.
Yeah, it's got a 2-gallon tank. It's a 1.2 horsepower twin compressors. It will pump from 0 to 130 psi in 50 seconds.
Wow.
But like I said before, it's quieter running than my washing machine is. But
Yeah.
I want to say that a little tip for those out there that's got the tankless air compressors, you will sometimes, depending on the length of your air hose for your airbrush, you'll get that pulse effect, spraying the paint, spurting as the pistons are going up and down. If you put a 10-foot air hose on the airbrush and you fill up that 10-foot line with air, even with a tankless air compressor, it will keep a steady flow of air and paint going to your model when you're painting, because of all the distance you've got that that 10-foot line filled up with air. Whereas if you had like a 4-foot hose, then you're going to get that pulse effect, off your airbrush as it comes out.
So you recommend the longer the hose, the better. The longer the pipe work, the better, basically. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you're filling that longer length of hose up full of air to start with.
Yeah.
So that compressor has to kick back on again.
Yeah.
Even with the air compressor that I've got with that 2-gallon tank, I've still got a 10-foot hose. I got a 10-foot hose on my airbrush.
Yeah.
Because that way, that air compressor don't have to kick on.
That's fair play. That I get that now.
It'll fill up that 2-gallon tank, plus it'll fill up that 10-foot line too.
I bet you got it wrapped around your house then, haven't you? But that's a long pipe, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But I did notice actually that when I've got the cheap Revel beginner airbrush kit, and the pipe on there, even though it's a very bog standard model, it's a hell of a length of pipe hose, I should say. I keep saying pipe, but hose that you get on it. So I presume that's where that's basically your tank, isn't it? Is actually using the hose instead of having the metal one.
Yeah,
so
you're using the hose to replace the tank, more or less.
Yeah, that's a fair shout. Yeah. Just looking now, we just got a brand new member in the chat. Thank you very much. 92. appreciate you joining us. It's fantastic. And if you send me your email address, I'll send you out some stickers. Not email address. Email me your house address. If you're in this country, I can send them this week. But if you're abroad, you have to wait a couple of weeks because we're not sending post out apparently. So yeah, all good. Right. So we've all talked about our compressors. Any questions in the chat about compressors? Any questions to Hobby Barn? Just leave them up there, and I'll get them up on the screen, and he can answer your questions. So, but not really much happening in the world of scale modeling at the moment. I've had a look through on Twitter. Not much being said. No models really that I'm keen on really building. But I noticed it was the toy fair in Germany this week. I know Dale said from Airfix that he was in Germany, so I presume it was for that event. But I see Tamiya have put some more pictures out of some of their models that they're going to be releasing this year. Did anybody else have a look at that?
No, I've not seen that.
Not seen that. I think Jadlan put out some pictures, and they showed some of the test shots of that Scout that Airfix are going to be releasing this year, and it does look really, really good. I think that Scout's going to be a good bit of kit.
Airfix won an award at the show, didn't they?
Did they? What award was that?
I'm just trying to find it. It was for the Buccaneer, but I can't remember what it was. I'm just trying to find it.
Oh, wow. Because that was designed by Primagit, wasn't it? So that would be good if they won an award for that. I thought they just got an award just for turning up.
We are pleased to announce the newly tooled Blackburn Buccaneer S2C/D scoops the Model Fan Award for the aircraft category at Nuremberg International Toy Fair.
That's good. That is good. Yeah, Tamiya have said they've got a 1-12 Formula One car coming out. That's the John Player Special Lotus, isn't it? I think they're bringing out, but it's not going to be John Player Lotus, is it? Because they can't use cigarette advertising on it no more. So, but it'll be interesting to see how that one turns out for Tamiya, because the Lightning's come out, and I think there's been a few moans about the design of it. It's not quite as accurate as it's made out to be, allegedly. But then, Italeri is going to get a few good ones out this year as well. Yeah, we saw the catalogue, didn't we, for Italeri? Models Vit hopefully going to be doing an XP67 Moonbat. Oh, I wonder what that's going to be like.
The one that was asking me if I build model airplanes, I've got 30 of them up here on my shelf, but I've never really put any together. Now I've got a big remote control airplane hanging over my head, the Cessna 182. But I used to fly airplanes. I used to have my pilot license, but the FAA took them away from me because I can't pass physical anymore. But it's funny, being a former pilot, that I never did bother to build an airplane. I used to be a professional photographer and shot for Glamour and NASCAR magazine on location. And of all the NASCAR races that I used to attend and take pictures for, I've never built a NASCAR model. I guess it's just, it's just like, the saying, carpenters live in the worst house that they could possibly live in, because they're spending all their time building everybody else's that they don't have time to work on theirs. Mechanics, they work on everybody else's car, and theirs won't even run half the time because they don't have time to do stuff for themselves as they're doing it for everybody else. Well, same way with me, I was too involved in taking pictures of real NASCAR that I didn't take time to sit down and put one together. Same way with airplanes. I started flying when I got out of high school. I was at flight school and learned to fly a plane, and I even flew co-pilot on a Learjet for a while.
Yeah.
It's just, I love airplanes, and I used to go up to the airport and sit and watch them and everything. I had a radio, that I used to kept in the plane that I could actually talk to the tower and stuff with in case the radio in the plane went out. I could still talk to them, and let them know what's wrong. But I would go out there and sit and listen to the planes coming in, the land and stuff like that. And but I just never did put no airplanes together. I mean,
Right.
I've got every kind you could think of up here. I've even got ships
Yeah.
in the closet here behind me that I've never put together. But there's a lot of models up here on these shelves that ain't got put together either.
Yeah.
But I know I'm not going to live long enough to build all of them. But I've got a good selection of which ones I do want to build when I can build. I mean, I've got a lot of models sitting here under this table. It's got all this pearl paint on it. And I've got, I got 67 Chevelles, a lot of muscle cars, Novas, Camaros. That's mostly, a lot of the cars that I bought because that's what I grew up with.
Yeah.
Being in the 60s, growing up in the 60s and 70s, that was my kind of car. I drove a 69 Oldsmobile 442 Hertz factory 442 to school when I was in high school, my junior year. My senior year, I drove a 69 Camaro. I later turned it into a race car. And I've even got pictures of it, on my Facebook page and Instagram of the car. But
yeah.
It's just, I don't know, and I love funny cars. Back in the 80s and late 70s, Kenny Bernstein that drove the Budweiser King car was my favorite. John Porsche, more or less kind of took his place now. But back then, Kenny Bernstein was the guy, he was the king. Nobody could actually beat him. Just like Don Garlett, was the king of the top fuel. It's just hard for them, to be beat because they were the best.
Yeah. Did you have you ever built a Spitfire then?
No.
I think that should be your first. That should be your first model, surely.
Well, I promised the guy that got me the Boot Hill Express that I would build that, model first. Because, like I said, I want to build that one because I don't know how much time I've got.
Okay.
And at least I can say, well, I did get to build one of my holy grails, before I died. And
yeah.
My other holy grail that I want to get, but I can't really afford, well, I can afford it, but I ain't going to, is the Connie Coletta Bounty Hunter, the original one, of 73 Plymouth. Now, you can buy the Connie Coletta Mustang from Hobby Lobby, but it's not the same car that I built back in 73.
Yeah.
And but the cheapest that I found that car on eBay is like $300, and I'm not going to pay that kind of money just for a piece of plastic, just to have for a damn memory. I mean, I can sit and think about it for nothing. So, and save my money.
Old 92 has just said, good to see AMT doing well, judging by that Waller stash. Quite a few.
Yeah, AMTs. I've got quite a few of them. I've got a lot of PC too. And Revale, I've got quite a few of those.
Yeah, I could see that, definitely. So Lotus, Type 78 from Tamiya this year, apparently. They're bringing out. They're bringing out, let me just quickly go through the list again. Just seeing a little video here. They do the Porsche 935 Martini. That's quite a nice, slick looking Porsche as well. It's that white one, isn't it, with that blue stripes down the side. Is that them as well? A GMA T50? Does that sound right from Tamiya this year? No? Okay. Just put this in the chat if you know. Yeah, GMA T50, 1/24 scale. A Panzer 4L 70 apparently is on the list from Tamiya this year. They've got some new military military miniatures are coming out 135 scale. A KI-61 Hein and a 4x4 Kurigane. Oh, they're bringing out models. So they're bringing out like models with cars, basically, I guess. Tamiya are, which is good. And then they're just showing off they're doing a Mustang, P51 Mustang with a 4x4 light vehicle as well set. So they're doing sets now, Tamiya are. And they've got that Lightning coming out, which apparently people are saying isn't very accurate. So not too bad, I guess. Not too bad.
Wayne, I do plan on building some of them tractors up there on that shelf.
Yeah.
The one on the top, the Freightliner or the Kenworth W900 Aerodyne, I have started on that one already. And the International TranStar Eagle underneath it is already been started.
Yeah.
I just need to finish it. I started on them before I got sick. And then once I started getting sick, I was not able to work on it anymore. I had to quit.
Yeah.
I am going to finish it.
You are going to finish it, are you?
Yeah.
It's always good to finish a model. Just looking through the chat. Coming up 30 plus years as a driver, probably at least 10 years out of the seat before any kind of itch. I think you're right, though. I think people who do cars and lorries and stuff don't really build them because they don't want to. They get to a point where they're coming home after driving all day. They don't particularly want to go building a vehicle that they've been driving. So quite a bit of that in the chat. A
lot of them up there, though, I built when I was a kid. Like the moving on Kenworth, I built that one. I built the BJ and the Bear Kenworth K100 back in the day, but I've not bought one back yet. For one thing, I just, they want too much for it. But I'm gradually, getting back. I'm trying to buy back the models that I had, when I was younger growing up.
Yeah.
At the time when I was growing up, I had 117 models, built models, sitting on the shelf. And so there's quite a few models that I built back then, and I can buy back now, especially since they're reissuing a lot of them, which it makes the original value of the original models go down, but it's still being able to have one period is better than not having one at all.
Yeah.
Except for the Bounty Hunter, and it's just not the same model. Is the reason I don't have it.
Fair enough. Lord Bodford says America seems to do more cars and truck, and we do the planes. Yeah, that's quite true. I think
Yeah, I agree. I've noticed that too. A lot of over in the UK and even over in Ireland and other places. Some of the tribes that I've got talked to a lot. You all tend to build more military type stuff than what we do here in the United States.
Yeah.
Like I said, we build more muscle cars, trucks, and stuff like that. Not so much the tanks and the ships and the planes and stuff, but not like you all do. I mean, there's people here that build all that, and and that's fine, if that's what you're used to building. So a lot of people, that's what they like, and that's mostly what they stick to. And myself, growing up, I always liked just to build, whatever I could build. I just like building, and that's why I've got them airplanes and stuff up there. If I wasn't sick, I'd be building some eventually, because the fact that I've got them. And, I've even got a tank sitting over here. It's made out of wood that I ain't put together, but one of these days maybe.
Yeah, fair enough. Lexi, have you built any cars or any lorries or anything like that in your modelling journey?
Nope. Nope. I am planning to build a car this year, though.
Are you? Are you going to build a Jeep?
No. I'm not doing the cheap. I've
Why
already
not?
chosen. I've already chosen a car that I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a surprise though. But like, I'm
Keep-
really excited to do it because it will be
Yeah.
different for me to do. But they just don't really hold any interest to me. They're like tanks to me. Like to me, it's like, yes, that is a vehicle. Like that's as far as my knowledge and interest goes. But I
Yeah.
have like a lot of appreciation for them because, like, the cars in particular, I always think look so stunning and realistic and shiny and beautiful. But
Yeah.
it's a bit intimidating.
Do you find that? Do you that you're intimidated by the finish of the cars?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
find them way scarier than I find a plane.
Yeah. Well, I get that because you can, when you see a car being built model wise, it's fresh off the showroom floor, isn't it? Really, you don't see a lot of weathering unless you do a rally car. You basically
You're
do
going
it
to
so that,
Sully.
yeah. So so yeah, it's you will try and get a nice gloss finish on it to make it look pretty smart, So what about you, Hardy? Have you built any cars or lorries when you've been doing modelling?
When I was a kid, I think I did one.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years ago, when I got back into it, I built the Tamiya Beetle. And
Oh,
that was
did you?
because, yeah, just because my best mate had his Beetle nuts. So I built one to look like the one she had when she was when it was like her first car. But apart from that, it just same as Lexi, just no real interest in building cars or armor, just aircraft.
Yeah. See, I'm surprised, when I talk to people because, how I got into scale modelling, I've mentioned it many times, is through space. When I was a youngster, that was it for me, doing spaceships, fantasy things really, and then we moved on to doing a car, did a mini, and then obviously back on to doing Spitfires and planes, except Spitfire and planes, but just doing planes. But yeah, I'm surprised that when I talk to people that they didn't build those sort of kits back in the day, but there was loads out there because I remember, looking at magazines and wanting the latest space shuttle or rocket or moon buggy and things like that, but now it's not, and we are in one of the biggest space races since, the last 50 years and nothing space is coming through. They're just relaunching or rebranding or rehashing the old plastic with better decals. So
That's a good point,
yeah.
actually. I would expect to see something for like, is it the heavy SpaceX heavy
Yeah.
rocket or whatever it is? I was expecting to
Yeah.
see something like that, but yeah, I haven't seen anything.
No, I was talking to a chap at Telford, and he said that there's nothing coming through. He said that they had a table there, a SIG group just on space, and nothing coming through, and it's so sad. It really is.
Yeah.
Dan Usher says, I haven't got any cars in my stash. Looking for one this year, a Cosworth, but has never been able to afford one. That'll be
New kits have
interesting.
just come out. I forgot the name of the manufacturer, but there's a new Sierra Cosworth kit coming
Is
out.
there?
There's two or three of them, and I forgot the name of the manufacturer, but they're brand new. They've literally just come out.
Cosworth Sierra.
It's probably a 1/24 scale, maybe.
Yeah.
That's the standard
I think
car.
I've seen that as well on Twitter.
So, I can't remember the name of the company.
Yeah. It is Cosworth. Scale model. Let's have a quick look. Scale model. Let's have a look. Well, Tamiya did one back 5 years ago, 8 years ago. Vanguard's. Oh, that's an old one, yeah. Hang on. D model kits, 1/24 scale.
D
Ford
models.
Sierra Cosworth. God, that does look a bit nice, I won't play the video on it. International Scale Model has done a video on it. That's where we've seen it.
Yeah, he's Paul Bretland's site. He's doing one of those. There's a few of his mates are doing it as well. Yeah.
You any idea how come he's left partnership with Ultimate Products, whatever they were called?
No idea at all, really.
Yeah, somebody there was a post put out saying that they parted company. So I was just wondering whether he's going to do his own thing now. you know what I
I think
mean.
you,
So
I think you said in the message that you had a plan, or there was something he was working on. So, oh yeah, I guess we'll find out.
the only thing I've got of them, the Ultimate Modeling products, is my Tamiya tape holder. It's a brilliant bit of kit. That it's 3D printed, obviously. And it's good. Oh yeah, good bit of kit, mate.
It's
Good review
great.
on that.
I've got a few bits
Celtic
of theirs
West.
actually.
Yeah, Celtic West is got the Bentley blower on the bench now from Airfix. So, you know, I saw him actually doing some of that. He was doing the seats for it at Model Club, and he let me borrow his kit to do a review on it on the channel. So it's a hell of a bit of kit, and the box size of that Bentley is the same size as the Spitfire 124 scale. So, which is good. You know, Horizon Models recently did a bunch of Mercury Redstone and Atlas models for some space content. I'll have to have a look at that. I've not seen that. I would like the Escort Cozzy too. That'll be a good kit if they ever make one.
Oh, that was a nice car.
Yeah. Let's ask Rorex then. Rorex, have you ever built a car or a lorry model?
Well, only stuff for my airfield. So a few browsers, some small tractors, some other trucks and lorries and stuff like that. And I got some tanks that I'm building now for a diorama, and I got some small 1-in-72nd scale guns. And but it's all military. It's all part of my airfield theme. So almost everything is aviation. I got ambulance from an Airfix ambulance and a fire truck. So it's all airfield related.
Okay, fair enough. So that'd be 176 for you then, won't it? It won't be 148.
76 or 72nd, it doesn't matter. At least that scale that it fits together.
Yeah. Dan's off now. Thanks, Dan, for joining us. He's in the saddle early tomorrow, so he's off for his beauty sleep. Fair enough for him. Sully, have you built any models, car-wise or with wheels on?
Yeah, I've done 2 Willis Dukes. One was the Tamiya mini art one.
Yeah.
Bedford lorry from IBM or IBM.
Yeah.
GM or something. I can't remember called that.
IBG.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I know the letters were there. I've done an old Revell Beetle, which was absolute dog shite. Aston Martin, Airfix Aston Martin. Then that was 30-foot scale. I did both of those actually. Did the Aston the Mosquito market and Beetle E4 was 109 market. I keep meaning to redo them because I didn't do them very well. I keep thinking about redoing those ones.
Yeah,
I think that's it, like for 4 wheels. But I have plans to do. I've forgotten the name of it, but Tamiya's armoured recovery lorry tank transporter. That looks
That's
absolutely epic. I was thinking doing that with like a captured tank on the back or a captured aircraft.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been building the KT as well. A lot of people have done that recently as well from FX.
I wouldn't mind doing that actually. Watching Nigel's modelling things.
Yeah.
Liked his.
You liked his, yeah.
Somebody else.
I gave mine to Celtic West, and he's taking it to Bovington on Saturday. So he built it for me because I didn't have time to do it. He was like, let's have a go at that. I said, crack on, mate. If you want to have a go at it, have a go. So, which will be cool. John, have you? There's no point asking you. You've done loads of cars, haven't you, on your channel?
I've just gotten back into them. Luke over at I've just been building armor for the last 15, 16 years, and Luke over at Scale Motor. So Scale Motor Hobbies, and he's a part of the ISM crowd, and he sort of prompted me, you know, about a car, and so I built the Mercedes G4 staff car. It was in 135, so it would fit, you know, the scale for 135, and it was a challenge because when we've just been building, you know, basically German World War II armor for 16 years, and then you build something to try to make it as pristine looking as possible. It was a real challenge, and I enjoyed that challenge. And then Terry's right, you know, here in the States, or you're right, here in the States, it's we're a very car focused. We have a strong car culture, and so I got into cars, and I've really been enjoying it. So I've just been now basically cars, planes, and armor, and it's just really livened up the hobby for me. So yeah, it's good.
There's a real art to getting a good gloss finish, though, isn't it? When you're doing something like that, it's putting it. It's doing that two, like what I call dry coats on top, and then you go over it the third time, very wet, but not too wet. It's getting that balance of just going past the tacky stage to, you know, to a wet look, and then just leaving it alone, hoping that no dust or crap falls on it. Do you know what I mean? And
it's magic. It's
it's
really an art. And you know, when I see these folks with these just incredible paint jobs, it really inspires me. So
the one chap I've taken real good advice from is Matt from PM Models. He's part of the Flory Models chat.
Yes.
And Matt did a video on, I think he sprayed up an E-Type Jag, and you know, he went through it all, but he used the I've got one here, the UV cut Mr. Collar super clean, I think he used on his as the final coat. So he done it through, but he put this coat on it, and it just looked absolutely stunning. So it was good. It was really good. But yeah, I think, you know, to get a gloss finish is pretty tough going, and I can see why a lot of people use rattle cans to do it with. It's, you know, you can really get a nice thick finish on them. So yeah, there's all different ways. And
I watched that International Scale Modeler quite a lot, just because I'm intrigued about how good a paint job they get. And I think Paul, the guy who runs it, I think, is it 2K Clear he uses, like the Spanish brand.
Yeah.
But he said it's basically you're effectively spraying like airborne super glue. So it's really, really toxic. You've got to be really careful with it, but it finishes like glass.
Does it?
So,
Let's have a look.
So if you have a look at some of his stuff, it's just it looks like glass. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I've watched these people, and they do this amazing fish. It's like I was really chuffed with how I got my gloss coat on that Kenworth I built, the Aerodyne from Revel. One of the most fun kits I've ever built. It was an absolute delight to build that kit. You know, I did a video on it, and then put it on that red coat, and I used the Tamiya LP on it, and I put the last coat on quite wet, and it sprayed absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. It was such a good finish on it, and it's one of the best gloss finishes I've ever done. And that's why, Sully, I never weathered it. Right? Just let you know, I didn't weather it because it was good. It was just your comment underneath, and not enough weathering on it. Now, you know.
Paul Price got the right answer for that. A lot of these guys that does all these fancy paint jobs and stuff, they do it for a living in real. And just like me, I mean, that's how you get good at, spray painting a model or, a 1-to-1 or whatever, is having the experience, how to mix the paint, get the right air ratio to match it, pressure. Because, every car that I ever painted, I mixed the paint up 1 cup at a time. And a lot of these guys take a whole gallon of paint and mix it at the beginning, and then every cup full that they've got, it's mixed, it's same thickness, same thing. I never did do that. I would mix the first one up, then to get a tack coat, get the paint thicker as the coats went on, later, to get the shine and to get it built up where I wanted it.
Yeah.
And but it, same with model car, and that's where that harder Steenback airbrush comes in handy too. You got an airbrush that'll lay that paint down and bust that paint up, will make that paint job turn out a whole lot better than when it's, just barely putting it out there on the plastic.
Yeah. You'll have to do a video on it, mate. When you do your first one and get it all nice and ready, we'll have to do a live stream of it. There you go. There's a challenge.
Well,
live stream.
Some of the guys in the other hangout that I'm on, they challenged me because I made a joke about it when I've done my video, the airbrush, and I told them that I could take a penny, which y'all probably wouldn't know what I'm talking about, but Abraham Lincoln, and paint his eyebrows on there with that airbrush. That's not very big. I mean, but that's how good a detail that airbrush is actually capable of doing.
Yeah.
Especially with the 0.15 needle that comes in it. And I can't remember now who it was that had it up on the screen or in the chat room, but they have one with the 0.15 needle, the 0.2, and 0.4. That's what my airbrush comes. Mine is the Infinity CR Plus. It says 2-in-1 on the kit or on the box, but it's actually a 3-in-1 because they got the other noodle and nozzle come with it, extra. But it comes with 0.15 automatic, in it, and then the 0.4, and then they put in the 2.0 or the 0.02, extra. But it is. I mean, that airbrush is different as daylight and dark from all the other Pache airbrushes that I've got. And I mean, just the weight of it, the feel of it, the smoothness that the trigger has, or it's just if you're used to it a whole lot, you wouldn't really know the difference, or know if that's the first time you ever had airbrush in your hand, you would think well, this is what they all feel like. But if you've done it for as many years as I have, you know the difference as soon as you hold it in your hand. And anybody else that's got one of them knows that too.
Fair enough. We've just got Plastic Alchemist in the chat. Nice to see you, my friend. I hope you can pop on if you want. If you've got 5 minutes, you can pop on. Nunu, if you want to have a little chat with us, you're quite welcome to come up. I'd have to space here for you. So I don't know whether you're coming up tonight or not. But yeah, going back, what paints do you actually, they always say if you want to know what good paint is, always ask a car sprayer. So what paint are you going to be using when you're spraying up your models then, Terry?
Well, unfortunately, with my health and my lungs like they are, I have to spray craft paint because there's no odor to it. I can't use enamel, or I can't use the 2K clear, the urethane clears and stuff like that, or the lacquer thinner. It's just too strong for me to breathe. Even with a mask, I can't do it. Because
what about with a good big extraction fan? Would that be better for you with an extraction fan?
I've got one. I've got a paint booth sitting right here beside of me with the exhaust going outside, but it's still the odor is in the air. Even if the fumes or the mist is going out the window, the odor is still staying in the room.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Open up a can of poly or urethane clear, and it will fill the room. The scent from it will fill up the room.
Yeah.
it's not the mist that gets me. It's the smell altogether.
Yeah.
And I just can't take it. It's just like you open up a lot of ammonia products, cleaning products. It just about takes my breath if I'm around somebody that's using them, because it's just the type of smell that puts off. Even perfume. Sometimes I can go to be in a store and get behind somebody, some woman that's got some strong perfume on, and I'll have to get away from them because it just about takes my breath.
Yeah.
When even with my oxygen and breathing oxygen through my nose and stuff with the hose, it still takes my breath. It's like it cuts the air off my lungs. That's the same way when the humidity gets up here, it's like the air gets so thick that I just can't breathe. Or it makes it hard for me to breathe. In the winter time, in the fall of the year is the time that the best time that I can breathe because the humidity stays low. We don't have as much rain. It's not as dank. Now we do have snow on occasion, but the snow don't affect me like rain does.
Yeah, I could imagine that. Yeah,
snow is not as dank or don't run the humidity up. But it's
fair
still
enough.
and there's days that I can't even get in here because I'm just out of breath, and it makes it rough. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
and,
I bet it does.
I noticed Dominic said in the chat room earlier, was talking about the cars from the 70s and 80s, muscle cars and stuff. To me, 1969 was the best car year that there was for American-made cars, muscle cars. You had the Surveils, the Camaros, and the Novas from the Chevrolet factory. You had the Mustangs, the Mach 1s, the Cobras, and all them from the Ford. You had the Dodge Super Bee, the Roadrunner, and all them from Mopar, models or cars. It was just the best year for all car manufacturers, I thought, in 1969, and the best looking cars. Now the 70s and 71, 72s, Novas and stuff, yeah, they look good too, but they all look better in 69.
Fair enough. Fair play. Right. I just want to quickly talk about Bovington. I'm going to Bovington on Saturday for the model show. If I just go to present here, I think it's that one here. Which one is it? Do I need? It's that one there, and it's that one there, and then we'll share that. Hopefully, that should come up on the screen now. So on Saturday I'll be here, mooching around filming the models that are on show. Southwest Model Show, 11th to 12th of February at Bovington. Bit pricey on the tickets, but you do get an annual pass. So if you do go to the Bovington Model Show, you then get a pass where you can go back to the Tank Museum as many times as you want in 12 months, I believe. So that's why I'm heading on Saturday. There's a few friends going already. Lexi, are you coming down for that, or are you going to be too busy on Saturday?
Nope, I am coming down.
You're coming down, so you might be able to, we'll meet up anyway, definitely, for a coffee and have a little mooch around. It's a good show, this one. There'll be traders there and stuff, and their models. So just trying to see. It's they do two, don't they? They do one in September, I believe, as well, don't they? Which is an even bigger one, I think. So opening 9:30, traders, exhibitors, special talks and tours, remote control in action. Explore the Tank Museum, and the full program is below. So let's plug Alchemist now. Let's add him to the stream. Hi, Nunu. All right?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself, bud?
Yeah, I'm really good. Really good. Just quickly go through the activities. You can test your electric skills on a massive track. Could you fly a model aeroplane? Find out with the Model Flying Simulator software. Models for Heroes will be there, so that'd be really good to go and visit those lads for Models for Heroes. And mini modelers can enjoy colouring and paper tank building. So if you want to build a paper tank,
Oh my god, I want to build a paper tank.
You want to build a paper tank, do you?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard you got a black belt in origami. I've heard that.
I'm excited. That is my goal for the whole day now.
Workshops. Yeah, there you go. Find out how 3D modelling works from the Arts University in Bournemouth. Hone your skills with 4 different airbrushing workshops with model. Oh, that might be fun. We'll sit there for 10 minutes and just watch him airbrush. Are you coming over then, Rorex? You'll be able to learn how to airbrush.
No.
And you can get your modelling questions answered by the Tank Museum volunteer modellers. That'd be good to meet up with them. Charity Dialect Squad. We're patrolling the site all day, so exterminate. If Rose was there, that'd be good. Watch mini tanks in action in a large remote control area and see the miniatures Brick Too Fast stand in the Cold War Hall, which would be good. Traders, they're not really mentioning many about traders, so I suppose there'll be a few there. So if I'll be able to pick up some of my favourite model knives, I'll definitely be going down for that one, most definitely. That'll be a bit of fun. Prices, £17, 10p to get on, so I presume it's worth buying online, I guess. So I might just do that. I think I could get in under concessions. I'll just take me Harry stick with me and just say hi.
I'm special.
I'm special. Loads going on. There you go, quite a bit there. The activities for the day, all day Saturday. There's 3D printing display. So we'll have a look and see if we can spot the Humbro printer there, shall we? That'd be good. I may just bring mine along and say, hey, yeah. Yeah.
You can be the exhibition, the only buyer of the Humbro printer.
Yeah, I could. It'd be a rarity, though.
Yeah,
it's a good job I've kept the box, isn't it? I might be worth a few bob in a few years. You never know. So yeah,
one of
quite a bit going on. Yeah. So there you go. That's good. So yeah, plenty going on that day. So if you'd like to meet up with me and Ms. Modeler, I don't think you can't come over, can you, John? Bit far away for you, isn't it? How far you must be in the North, Hardy, so you won't be coming down for Bovington, will you? That'd be a bit too far for you.
Aye, a little bit too far, yeah.
A little bit. What about you, Nunu? Do you fancy coming down to Bovington?
I was just checking for the directions, and that's 3 hours and 50 minutes for me. So I think I'm gonna skip on that one.
There'll be other model shows, mate. I can assure you, because I'm looking.
Oh, yeah.
There's just no dedication for some people. I'm driving 5 hours.
I know. Yeah, you got family you can stay with, though, can't you? So you're all right.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think I travel 3 hours on Friday, 2 hours each way on Saturday, and then another 3-hour drive back on Sunday.
Yeah. Lexi will go disguised as a French onion seller, apparently, to Bodigo saying.
It's because I'm doing French February, so every video for this month is French themed in some way. And I've got a beret now. and I really love it, and it looks so good on me. It's like a cute baby pink beret. And then chat just turned into turning me into a stereotype of a French person. So now I think that's just what has to happen for the rest of the month. Every video just gets more and more stereotypically French. So yeah.
What was that, mate?
Have you got the white flag ready?
Yeah. I was going to say that normally the French retreat, don't they?
Yeah.
I'll just let them shoot me. I can't be bothered to run. It's too much exercise.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Wayne Welly says, "Get the knives before Moz." Mr. Smith says, "Put the price up on the knives now." Lord Bodford one says, "Moz peg stall." Yeah, I could just be turning out. You can watch the 3D printer print out a peg. definitely. So, Paul Price says it's a 22-hour flight from Sydney for me. Oh, if you start now, you'll make it, mate. Don't you worry. Crazy Locker says the beret makes it worth the watch. Apparently, I don't know what that means, Miss Modeler.
Because my beret looks so cute. I wear it the whole video. It looks so lovely.
It was that
must
Cuban
admit, it looks
dictator
lovely.
that used to wear a beret. It was that Cuban dictator that used to wear a beret.
Oh, the Cuban guys.
Was Che Guevara?
Che
Wasn't the
Guevara.
dick-
Yeah.
Che Guevara.
He wasn't just a friend.
I really hope we're not saying that I am now like a dictator because I have a big beret.
No, definitely not at all, Miss Mother. No, not at all. No.
What was that?
One as well.
Call me by my real title, your overlord, Queen.
Yeah. Celtic
Maybe I
West
should join.
just said. Celtic West just says Mons too.
I'm now so happy with Brexit.
Yeah.
Don't.
Oh.
Don't. Too soon.
Hurricane Hobbies has just said, I've looked into the works when I was in town and those craft knives you like just not branded. Yeah, I know. Somebody sent me a link. These are Revel ones, but I've never seen the Revel knife before. But if you, and I swear, you get one of these, you'll never buy another craft knife again. They are absolutely fan-bloody-tastic. So whether it's Revel, Nielsen, the works, just buy yourself one of these craft knives, and I swear to you, you'll be like, where have you been all my life? You know, like when you get your first Airfix kit, you'd be like, where have you been all my? I'm joking, but you know, it's these knives are absolutely fantastic. You know, it's really really good. So yeah, so that's where I'll be on Saturday. With I'll meet up with you. We'll exchange phone numbers and we'll meet up before. So I'm coffee black decaf. That's right. So if I turn up, like, you know, just get us a coffee. So yeah. So
Just be
I'll
careful
be
that she's very
Bovington.
demanding.
Yeah. Oh, look who's in the chat. Sprue and Glue. Hi, mate. I hope you're well. I hope you're getting better, mate. And I hope you've sorted out your computer.
Hey, Dave.
Because you are welcome
Hi, Davey.
on this chat when you get 5 minutes. All right, Sprue and Glue. Hope you're feeling better. As you know, he got ill with COVID, so he's been a bit off key at the minute. But nice to see you back in the chat, Sprue and Glue. Always great to see you. So yeah, so anyone in the chat going on Saturday to Bovington, just let me know, and just, you know, say hello to me and tell me who you are, and I'll take some stickers with me. I won't take a lot of them because I'm trying to give them away to the channel members, but if you're along, come and see me and you can have a Moz Model sticker. Anyway, so that's Bovington. So that's where I'm heading on Saturday with Lexi. So as I said, anybody in the chat is going, just let me know and we'll see you there. Coolio. Well, we've been going for an hour and a half. I've got nothing much else to really say at the minute. So if you've got any questions in the chat you want to ask us on the panel here, we'll get discussing chat. As I said, we've been talking to Hobby Barn this week. So today, so he's popped on for a chat. And if you've not already subscribed to the man, please go to his channel. Hopefully, Fenris or not Fenris, Taggers or Lexi will put his link up onto the chat there. So you can go over to his channel. We're trying to get him to hit 1,000 subscribers. And also, if you can, just if you've got channel members yourself or on your wall or on Twitter or on social media, just share out his channel and just give him a like, give him a subscribe, and let's try and get him to 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, thank you, Fenris. That's the one there. That's the link to the Hobby Barn YouTube channel. So any questions in the chat? Let's have a quick 20 minutes of questions. Anything, any advice you want, let's ask the panel here. We've got various experience here, definitely. We've got a lot of experience in the chat. So if you've got a question, let's go. Miss Bodler there's also put the hi guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Let's get Hobby Barn to 1K subs. That would be good. And Fenris is saying to me, Terry, that You've just passed the 800 mark. And when I first started this, I think you won about 400, weren't you? Or was it even before then? It
5 something.
was 500, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we're getting you over the line.
Wow.
Very
Y'all
slowly.
don't realize how much I appreciate, that y'all doing this. And
It's
everybody
all right,
wants
mate.
to me. And
Yeah.
like I said earlier, if you sub to me, I will sub back to you. I mean, it's not like, a one-way street, I will, sub back to you.
Brilliant, mate. Appreciate that. So,
like I said too, what really got me up there is where you shared my, video from my lung transplant, news on your channel, and got everybody, to watch and come on and sub, and
yeah.
that, done more good, I'd say, than anything. Is sharing it. I had a couple other guys on my, that I talked to a lot. They shared my video too, and that helped some.
Yeah.
because they all had, a lot of subs themselves. A lot of them, had, 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers of their own. And once, somebody, that's got that many subscribers, posts that, and gives a shout out, well, then naturally, you're not going to get them all, but, if you get 10 or 15, it soon adds up, And, but I just can't thank you all enough, for, trying to help me get to the, 1,000.
No worries. Just a
appreciate
quick
it.
question, Terry. Are you the guy with the Pash airbrush? Are you the Pash airbrush guy?
Well, I've got some, but
Yeah.
my last one that I bought, or the last video I done, is the Harder Steamback.
Yeah, hard and clean back. That's what I thought. Yeah.
I've got about 5 or 6 of the Pash A,
Fair enough. So then on the panel, then Celtic West has asked the question, what would be the Holy Grail kit for the panel members? So John, what's the Holy Grail kit for you? Scale model kit.
Wow.
That's on the spot, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Does it have to exist, or can we just make it up?
Yeah, you can make it up. You can make it up. Make it up.
You know, I
definitely.
think I want to build. I don't know if this is a holy grail, but I think I want to build one of these copper state model kits.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen people build those. They tend to be focused on World War One, but they do, a lot of like armored car type stuff. And I watch others build them, and they're universally really happy with them. I guess that would be as a just a brand, that would be, they're pricey even here in the States. But yeah, that's about it. I guess a couple of months ago I would have said this 1/24th Airfix Spitfire, and I was so convinced from like your post and the post about how they made it. That's really sort of a recent purchase of a kind of a holy grail kit. A $100 plus kit that has just given me hours and hours, scores of hours of modeling pleasure. So that's it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Come then, Sully. What's yours then? I suppose it's a bird's nest.
It's a bigger model, bigger bird's nest.
1-to-1 scale.
Is it? I'll forget it wrong, I think. But the 1/35th Greta.
Really?
Railway article repeat.
That's the one you. If you had the money, you would buy that, would you?
Totally. Tomorrow. I absolutely love it. I think it's just awesome. That is.
Yeah. So, do we need to set up a GoFundMe for that one?
Might have to. I wouldn't have said it's just an epic model, I think.
I wonder how long it would take you to build it.
That's just a big question actually, because I'm usually quite quick to build stuff, but that could be there could be a couple of months I think actually.
I'm going to say it'd be a 6-month build, I reckon.
Probably, yeah. Probably take twice the amount of time to really weather it and all.
Yeah, that's about. Yeah, I'm just looking at it now and I'm thinking that's some. There must be 100 sprues. Crumbs. Oh, that's a big kit. So then, moving on, Rorex, what's your Holy Grail kit?
Well, at the moment, I think the Airfix B2 version of the Lancaster.
Oh,
Really looking forward to building that one in Coastal Command colors.
yeah,
With some lighting in it, and I need to modify the nose due to it had 2 to 4 cannons in the nose. So that will be fun. And I got 2 of the kits in my stash, so I will be fine with building that one. And it was on my very short list to build, but then some group builds came, so it got bumped up a little. But probably soon-ish, I will start that one.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Fair enough. That's I liking those lights, by the way, on the wing there. They really are shining brightly, aren't they?
Yeah, on the wings of the Defiant, only the wings was already cemented together when before I started with lights, so I needed to put them in via different manners, but it turned out quite well.
It's really good, really good. Right, Miss Modeler, what is your Holy Grail kit? I think I might know what it might be.
I don't think you do.
So,
no, because if it doesn't exist, so if it could be literally anything that I could just make up, the one I just did my video on that came out today, the Loire Newport 411, I would genuinely do a 1/24th scale version of that.
All right, okay, fair enough.
And the only other thing I've been, the only other 2 I think I've been very tempted by, which I guess I would say would be Holy Grails, because the only reason I'm not doing them is due to space, would be 1/32nd scale Fiat G50 and
that's what I was going to say. I thought it was going to be a G50 of some description. Yeah.
Yeah, the 1/32nd scale G50 I've looked at many times, and it's very, very tempting. The same with the D520 as well. But yeah, space for me is the issue. That's why they'll always be the Holy Grail just out of reach.
Okay. Fair enough. That's right, yeah. I get that. As I said, I thought the fit would be on there, definitely. Hardees, what's your Holy Grail kit?
Because I had it when I was a kid and I didn't finish it. The Tamiya 1/32 scale Tomcat. It was massive.
Really?
It's my favorite aircraft, American aircraft.
Yeah.
But if I could just make one up to be produced for me, a lovely 1/24th scale Lightning, English Electric Lightning.
Yeah.
Look, all the panels open, all the engines showing, everything like that. Yeah, that would be awesome. Be massive.
That would be your kit, would it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a unique aircraft, and it's so different. So
yeah. Fair enough. I get that, definitely. Plastic Alchemist, Nunu, what's your Holy Grail kit?
Hard to answer that one because I have the attention span of goldfish. So I keep jumping on them. One of them, I have them already, is the 1x18th Huey helicopter. But the one, if I could buy, and I would have it, would be the Tamiya 132nd P51D.
Oh, would it?
Yes, that would be my one.
That's an awesome kit, that.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Fair enough. Have you built one of you, Hardy?
No, but I have had a good look through the box and then decided not to. Just it's just for the price.
Yeah. The price tag is a bit on the steep side, but
it literally falls together apparently.
Yes,
That's
I've
fair
watched
enough.
Plasmo building it, and freak me, it's amazing.
Yeah, you'll have to send me the link to that video, and I'll have a watch of that because I'll be interested to see what that turns out like.
Yeah.
Well, my Holy Grail kit, believe it or not, is the Airfix Free Enterprise 2. Now, they've lost that tooling, so that is a Holy Grail kit. It's a boat, Townsend boat, the Free Enterprise 2. I can't remember when it was last released, but apparently they can't find the tooling for it. But I'd be buggered if I'm going to spend 100 quid buying one on eBay. But I would like to have a crack at that because I remember that. Was it 1988, 87. I saw a few being built, but I've never built one, so that would be definitely one on my radar. And another Holy Grail kit would be, as mentioned already in the comments, an EE Lightning in 1/24 scale. I think that would go down really well as well. And I don't think anyone does one in 1/24 scale for an EE Lightning. But that would be a kit to build, wouldn't it? That would be a nice little kit to build. Imagine the detail you go. No, imagine I know that when they Airfix brought out the 172, the stenciling was absolutely perfect. Every single stencil that was on that Lightning they had on the decal sheet. So imagine doing a 1/24 scale. It would be an absolute delight to do all the stenciling then, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? Because they'd be big enough to see. So just for that, I think that would be the case. I'd only ever,
The biggest one's the trumpeter one. That's like an actual injection one, because I think there's like a vacuum form one that
is
was
that the
done.
one? It's not 1/12. That one, 1/12 scale. Is that right?
There's a 1/32 scale Lightning, and then I know there's a 1/24 vacuum form one, but vacuum form. Right. So that's like literally hell on earth if you're me.
Well, yeah. Imagine that though. Imagine if they did bring out a 1/24 scale EE Lightning.
I think that would be amazing.
But they're gonna the P40 will be first, and I reckon they'll do a Hurricane second, and maybe they may do an EE Lightning 1/24 scale in the future. A lot of people do like it, the Lightning. So yeah. But when you talk about Holy Grail kits, that's what.
A lot of people also don't understand the aircraft, so they don't like it, even though they don't even know what it could do and what it was capable of and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a shame because it looks weird and people, often either don't like it or they really like it. So that's why I don't have a lot of kit with it, I think.
No, I get that. Yeah. Go on, Sully.
I just don't like it silver.
Yeah, but
I love the
your opinion.
Silver. Yeah, it's the most.
Your opinion doesn't count, mate. You don't like Spitfire, so we can take you serious. Sorry, Sully.
Wow.
There's my Holy Grail.
Look at that. That's pretty fun. That is
that's awesome.
That is cool, isn't it?
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That is.
Monogram.
That's sick.
1967.
That's so cool.
Fantastic. Right. Anyways, that's it for tonight. I think it's coming on 10 to 10. We've had a really, really good evening. Thank you so much for joining us, Hobby Barn, tonight. Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely get you back on again in the future when you start building some of your kits will get you on and showcase you a little bit more. And
I'll be doing
hopefully
updates on this one here when as I build it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be all watching, mate. Definitely giving it a like, and hopefully we've given you enough exposure now. So hopefully that will take you over the 1,000 subscribers, mate. So
like I said,
it'll
you
be
all
really
don't realize
good.
how much I appreciate it.
No worries, my friend. Always a pleasure. Just a quickie. What am I saying? Just want to thank everyone in the chat. Everyone in the chat for joining us tonight, and thank you, John, Lexi, Terry, Rorex, Hardy Scale Models, and Nunu Plastic Alchemist. I haven't done it yet, but in the description box below will be a link to all their channels. So please go over there and subscribe. Thank you to the new channel members that have joined on tonight. I will, if you're in the UK, send me your email me your address. My email's in my about section, and I'll send you out some of the new models stickers, which I think they look absolutely fantastic. And, but if you're not in the UK, you're gonna have to wait a few weeks because Royal Mail aren't delivering stickers. So I will definitely get them sent out in the next few weeks.
I'm sending you one of my shop cards.
Yeah, I know you are, mate. Yeah, I've got your envelope here, but when I went to the post office, they just laughed at me when I said, "Can I have first class to America and wherever?" And they were, so that was the end of that for me. There's no chance. Yeah, no chance. They just laughed. Yeah. And the worst thing is, I went on a Thursday, so I was stuck behind the old biddies getting their pension. Finally get to the front after they've paid for the TV license. I'm there high,
Computer says no.
Yeah, you got no chance. So yeah. Also, thank you again. If you want to become a channel member, please just click join below. Make sure you start for $1.99. Go, as I said, go off to the other channels here and subscribe to them and watch their videos too. Thanks everyone else who's been watching the chat tonight. I've looked at your comments. There's been some fabulous questions and stuff. And we'll be back next week, obviously on Monday. And we're going to try and get another guest on, hopefully. So, each week we'll get a special guest on. That's the plan. I think Dale's still in Germany, so I won't get him back on just yet. So, yeah, all good. One last thing I was going to mention was Bovington. Remember, we're going along on Saturday. So if you want to come and say hello and introduce yourself, please feel free to come and find me. And that's it. Yeah, Miss Modeler's put her shameless self-promotion there, a little comment in the chat there. So fair enough. But remember, we're all here. Again, thanks, Terry, again for joining us. And we will see you next Monday, I believe. All right, same time. See you next Monday. Cheers all. Bye-bye.
Bye, bitches.
See you there, guys. Take care.